This is Standing Watch. And now, Evangelist Norbert Link.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to our Standing Watch program. The relationship between the United States of America and Germany in particular is deteriorating. And at the same time, America expects of Germany to become more powerful in a leadership capacity when it comes to the rest of the world. These are interesting developments in the light of biblical prophecy. First, let me talk a little bit about when President Obama visited Germany in June and what kind of a reception he received. Die Tageszeitung wrote, "His speech was a disappointment for those who hope for what actually, clearly these phrases for the history books, which in themselves imply the claim of the US to lead the Western world, don't exist anymore." Interesting observation. People don't believe anymore that the United States of America will and can lead the rest of the world. Now, who is going to? Die Welt wrote, Barack Obama's visit did not touch the Germans, neither warmly or coolly. Germans don't like Obama anymore. America has become more foreign to us, but Europeans have also become more foreign to Americans. Die Süddeutsche Zeitung wrote, Europeans, especially the Germans, have their problems with both presidents. They despise Bush as a supposedly dim-witted cowboy, but in the meantime they have become leery of the coldly analytical Obama who kills suspected terrorists with drones and lets his government monitor the internet. Die Berliner Zeitung wrote, Obama spoke about a lot without saying much. He had no plan. Possibly the most important politician in the world has nothing planned. That is terrible news. Then you have the Südwestpresse, who said that the Germans don't trust the Nobel Peace Prize winner to lead the way to a beautiful new world. Unfortunately, the lasting impression is that he is a man of big promise and little progress. And then you have Deutsche Welle, who wrote that Germany and the United States have grown apart since 1990. Somehow, the United States has never managed to live up to the great hopes and expectations that Germans linked to it. On August 15, the Local reported that the magazine Der Spiegel attacked Barack Obama, accusing him of being powerless to stop the fighting and failing to take a clear position on the conflict in Egypt. And now as I speak, we have another disaster arising regarding Syria and the different positions which are being taken in regard to that country. In the meantime, Germany is asserting itself. Now, Der Spiegel Online wrote on August 23 that Germany is not simply receding ever deeper into self. In fact, the Berlin Republic is quietly asserting itself and fleshing out its foreign policy. The unwillingness to act as France's cheerleader in the greater Mediterranean comes with the creeping recovery of self-confidence. Now, this goes hand in hand with a desire by the United States of America to see Germany become more actively involved in world affairs. The Spiegel Online wrote on August 23 that Washington is hoping that once the campaign is history, the German campaign, referring to the chancellorship, which is going to be decided in September, once that's history, Germany will take on a greater global leadership role. And then somebody is quoted, Conley from the Center of Strategic and International Studies, saying there is some uncertainty in Washington about how strong a partner Germany is on military and security issues in the Middle East. She says she would like to see the new government articulate its foreign and national security views and strategies following the election. But the question is, my friends, how is Germany going to lead? That Germany is right now the leader in continental Europe is clear without doubt. But how is Germany going to lead? The Economist wrote on August 22. The reason why the world, and you, will care about this election is that Germany has become so important. The euro crisis has now been going on for 3 years. Currently it seems to be stable, but it could return with fury at any time. This has led to an old question being asked anew. This German question has changed over the centuries, whether the Holy Roman Empire would centralize or stay fragmented, whether and how Germany in the 19th century would unify, etc. But always it was about how this central land, too big for Europe, too small for the world, as Henry Kissinger once put it, would relate to its neighbors and continent. That, my friend, is a question as relevant and as important today as it has ever been. And the Bible tells us that Germany will play an important role in future events. And these events are not going to happen in the distant future. Der Spiegel Online also had this to say on August 29, quoting a very enthusiastic German journalist who said this: "The rest of the world is waiting for Germany. When US President Barack Obama calls Germany a leading global power, we Germans hope, that he doesn't really mean it. We Germans exercise power, take action, lead. But history has given us reformed Germans in the 21st century the mandate to play an influential role in all of the world's affairs. Who, if not we Germans, is as well versed in emerging from the swamp of overthrown dictators? Who, if not we Germans, could advise war-torn countries on how to find their way back to peace? Who, if not Germany, whose path to liberal democracy was long and rocky, could help other countries along the path? And who, if not we Germans, would be destined to warn the Americans, for example, that absolute national security does not protect freedom, but instead destroys it? Seen in the cold light of day, we have no other choice." So what this author is saying is that Germans have no other choice but to lead and to show others the way. Goes on to say, for a country as important as Germany, getting involved is a duty, not a choice. The role of being an active player falls on us, whether we want it or not. We want to dream again of a better Germany in a better world. Germany is being administered, not governed. It could be a soft giant, but when it looks in the mirror, it still sees itself as a grey mouse. But that's just an optical illusion. Now, biblical prophecy tells us that Germany is becoming a giant, not just a soft giant. You need to know, my friends, what is prophesied about the deteriorating relationship between Germany and the United States of America, on the one hand, and the fact that Germany is in fact destined to becoming a great power in Europe, leading Europe, but at the same time, ultimately, bringing about a terrible time of destruction in the Middle East and around the world. I'd like to offer 2 booklets to you which go into these biblically prophesied events. One is Biblical Prophecy from Now Until Forever. Biblical Prophecy from Now Until Forever. You need to know what the Bible tells you, including America, including Europe, including Germany, including the nations in the Middle East, including Russia, China, and other nations and countries. The Bible gives you very clear information as to what is going to happen in the near future. And then our most recent booklets, the 10 European revivals. The 10 European revivals of the ancient Roman Empire. Now this booklet goes into the prophesied revivals of the ancient Roman empires, and it says that there are going to be 10 revivals, 9 of which have already occurred. You see, in the booklet we have a chart in the middle which gives you the information insofar as who constituted those 9 past revivals. And it also tells you who is going to lead the 10th and last revival. The Bible says it's going to be 10 nations or groups of nations in Europe coming together, giving the power and the authority to a very charismatic political leader who is going to work hand in hand with a religious leader. But it is going to be Germany again who is going to lead that final revival. And it also tells you that the relationship between Europe and the United States of America is going to deteriorate in ways you may never really understand or believe unless you hear the truth in our free booklet, Biblical Prophecy. From now until forever, it tells you exactly how this deterioration is going to develop and what the outcome of it is going to be. This is bad news, but there is tremendous good news in the, as I said, not too distant future, because when all these things are going to happen, according to the words of the Holy Scriptures, Jesus Christ is going to return. He tells you he will have to return, because unless he were to return, and unless those terrible days which are ahead of us, these days which threaten the very survival of mankind, unless those days wouldn't be shortened, no flesh, no human being, for that matter, not even any animal, would be saved alive. Nobody would survive. But the promise is, the good news is that Christ is going to return to shorten those days, to make an end to the insanity of war, the insanity of all these terrible things which are experiencing in this world. He will come for the elect's sake, as it says. But he then will open up the minds of the people so that they can also understand the truth. Most people today do not. Most people today have no clue as to what the truth really is. They try to bring peace, they try to bring prosperity and freedom, but they do it through the means of war, which will never ever bring about the true peace we all desire to see. So please do yourself a favor and request those 2 free booklets. We will be happy to send them to you. And until next time, this is Norbert Link for the Standing Watch program.
Standing Watch is a presentation by The Church of the Eternal God, P.O. Box 270519, San Diego, California 92198. More information is also available at our website, eternalgod.org.